Shooting photos with an anamorphic lens has kind of been a little bit of a hassle until now. If you ever wanted to have the cinematic look of that widescreen kind of feel when it came down to photography, it was a little bit always of a hassle to be able to do it with an anamorphic lens with the post-processing that you would have to do. Mainly because you would have to desqueeze this image a lot with Photoshop or any other way that you could do, maybe with DaVinci Resolve, how I've tried it. But now Blazar came out with their app where you can just go ahead and desqueeze the image all within their app itself. So I wanted to go put it to the test with my own anamorphic lens and see how it would work out to take some photos and use the Blazar app to desqueeze my images. But there's still gonna be a little bit of a struggle because you're gonna have to edit your photos without them being desqueezed first before using the app. But we're gonna go ahead and test it out and see what kind of cinematic shots we can create. Now, before we go out to go take some nice photos, you're probably gonna be wondering, why even bother taking photos with an anamorphic lens? Well, to be honest, is the different characteristics that the anamorphic lens gives to the photos due to the squeezing of the image and how you desqueeze it to have the different type of bokeh and just feel to the images themselves. So it's something that I've been wanting to do more of. And now if there's a faster way to do it thanks to the Blazar app, I'm actually quite intrigued to go ahead and try to test it out so that I can take more photos with my anamorphic lens. And the good thing is I have the Sony a7R5 that has 61 megapixels since my anamorphic lens is a Super 35, so I'm going to be using the Super 35 mode onto my a7R5 where I'll still have about 26 megapixels, so I'm able to use this now for video and for photo if I'm ever wanting to do that. So kind of cool to have that killer of a combo. So now I need to get some example photos and we're going to go find them out here in the city nearby. Clearly they don't know who I am, trying to make a YouTube video out here. Calm yourself, Pavilion. Whatever artist is there, calm yourself.
Quiet the whole time.
Yeah, quiet until it was me. And now it's starting to sprinkle, which it looks nice though. Apparently we're just having ads in real life right now where we can't escape them on subscription base or outside apparently now. Anyways, maybe should be fine in a second. I'll give it like 5 seconds. You keep it rolling. It's about to start raining more. So you're probably still wondering, how can you compose when basically in this camera you can't do any desqueezing in it, so you're kind of having to just go ahead and get the best that you can within the image. You can bring a nice little bit of a monitor, and I do have one, but I don't want to bring too much gear either. That's the whole point of this, is to try to make it as fast and painless. So usually what I just do, just kind of hope for the best and kind of be able to manually focus, because this one's manual focus. You can get the Sire anamorphic like autofocus one, but we don't need none of that right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of use still the metering inside the camera and then just go ahead and take a photo. And I know that in post I can desqueeze it. Okay, you're probably wondering, how does one even compose a shot when it's all stretched and squeezed inside the camera? Well, you have to kind of just train your brain to ignore the distortion and focus on the horizontal lines as much as possible and try to use whatever metering you can within your camera. My goal is not to strive for perfection, but mainly just have some character to the shots, because the anamorphic look is that for me. It's not about having amazing autofocus, because this lens obviously doesn't have it, but it's to have just some moments captured in a different way. It's just going about your day, simply just taking photos in the horizontal mode, because with social media nowadays, we don't really tend to do that much. So I try to go ahead and try to use it when I can with my anamorphic lens. And now having this faster setup to be able to take some photos and desqueeze them to get the images as I want to for my day or something quick and about, just makes it that much smoother to go ahead and bring this lens, because it's not an everyday lens, but it's a specific kind of lens to use. And I'm totally okay with that, because it's a lot of fun to get some anamorphic shots. So you've already seen some of the photos that I've taken with my anamorphic lens and also used them with the Blazar app after I edit them. But I'm going to show you real quick how I went about it so you can see the workflow that I would do when it comes down to just using my anamorphic lens and then, desqueezing the image with the Blazar app. But of course, we have our image here in Lightroom as we're going to be editing, and a little bit of a shameless plug because I'm sponsoring myself. Here are my custom presets. I have my Endo, Art Noir, Day and Night, Gritty, the Open. So just gonna go ahead and pick one. I'm gonna go right now with, I think, the Endo, start with that, then go ahead and just kind of keep it a little bit, maybe a little bit darker like that, because it was just a little bit more of a moodier time. Maybe add a little bit of a gradient right there to just enhance that, bring a little bit of warmth into it, and bring down the highlights a little bit like that. And that should be good. All I have to do now is just simply save copy to device. After exporting the images, I go ahead and open the Blazar app. Here we have the select the squeeze ratio, which for this one, we have a 1.5 times. So then we can select our images. And after we select them, we just go ahead and hit the squeeze, let it do its thing, and save to library. And that is how easily it is to just go ahead and import your anamorphic photos into the Blazar app to just go ahead and just get some nice desqueeze images to be able to just go ahead and post right then and there. And like I said, I went ahead and edited them on my phone, and it was just a faster experience because I can send the images from my camera to my phone, edit them in Lightroom, and then go ahead and use the Blazar app to desqueeze them without having to even use a computer for a faster workload. Especially because with this kind of lens and setup, it's not anything that I'm gonna be using on the daily all the time, but maybe I'm doing a little bit of, videography with it or something, and I want to get some cool little photos. Now I know I don't need to change lenses and can get something cool of a different perspective. But now the ultimate question will be, will this app make anamorphic lenses cool for photography now? Well, I think so, because it's really nice to have something that's a lot faster to desqueeze an image, whether it's perfect or not, because whenever I shoot with anamorphic lenses, I don't think I'm shooting them to have the perfection, but more about having a little bit of character with the lens itself, and as well to have a kind of grungy cinematic look to my images, because if I wanted perfectionism, I would use my normal lenses for that matter when it comes down to photography, but if I want to add a different feel to my photos, make it feel like it's a screen grab from a video or a film or something like that, then this is going to be a cool little setup in my opinion. But I'm curious, are you wanting to try this out? Because maybe that's the reason why you didn't want to go with an anamorphic lens before, because maybe you weren't so sure that you wanted to invest into an anamorphic lens for just videography, but now that you can use it for photography with the Blazar app to desqueeze it a lot faster, is it something that is more, incentivizing yourself to spend that money onto it? I would love to know your thoughts on that, because for me, it's actually making me want to get another anamorphic lens. And this Laowa lens that I've had that they sent me a long time ago has been really great, but now I'm kind of wanting to have one with autofocus so I can do video really nicely, but also some nice images for photos and just a different kind of feel of things. And yeah, that was a cool little example of just using the Blazar, app with my anamorphic lens to get a different kind of perspective of my images. And I think I'm gonna try to use it more often to get something different when it comes down to just photos that I wanna take whenever I have the chance and I can bring this lens with me. I know it's not gonna be an all the time kind of setup, but it'll be a nice setup to have to just be able to do it whenever I have the chance. So yeah, it was great, had fun, and got to get some, fun images for the day. Nothing too crazy, but at least we got to go out to take some photos with an anamorphic lens and not make it as painful as it could have been. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.